Yeah, back at it. So, I think for a lot of us who grew up playing in the 80s and 90s, I guess my big influence there, Mr. Faldo, Mr. Ledbetter, and even when I was getting a few lessons back then, we all was setting the club here early. Remember, he had that click machine, boom. So, when I'm trying now as I get older and playing with guys that hit it a lot further than me, I'm trying to incorporate this flow of the body. It's still hard. I'm good with my irons because I still have this early connection set and fire the hands and compress it. But when it comes to hitting a driver, I played with some guys yesterday who were literally hitting it 50 by me. So it's like, how do we incorporate something that's a little bit more dynamic to get a little bit more speed, to get a little bit more height with my longer clubs, with my driver? You play with guys who hit it in the air with no spin, how these clubs need to be hit. So, for me, when I'm at the range now, I'm trying to incorporate this flow in my swing. And, it was now, if you think about the fact, I'm also trying to say, okay, as I'm a tall guy with long arms, I want to get wide. But just getting wide is not going to help you. It's going to have to be a dynamic flow back with the flow in the feet. So, especially when we're playing, make sure that when you're out there, get that waggle, get that flow in the hands, and that feeling of sort of passing it with the body back. Flow. I'll try one here. It's not going to go 400 yards, but trying to just make a more dynamic move. Can you come just to see if this looks more like a flow? I know I've talked about this before, but you see when you start the swing like that, I know there's some great teachers out there. I love the stuff Drew Cooper does. Also kind of feeling that in the feet, trying to get that flow to even start from here in the beginning to... that one's straight. And then to try and incorporate that into my backswing where it's not just a... And for all of us who grew up there, we're like this, this, this. It's not really a dynamic move. So try to get that waggle, try to let that flow. Yeah, with the driver, it's a little bit harder, for me at least. But if you can get that, or if I can get that, I'll be able to hit that ball on a higher trajectory and not such a low flat ball. You're trying to get that up. I mean, the scary part for me is someone who's always swung like that, is to allow myself to feel this. But I know, as my man here has seen, when I do that, it actually looks like a better golf swing because it feels like I'm really flowing, going off the ball. So we're going to try and incorporate that back. It's not very far. So anyway, a couple of things to think about when you're out there. Trying to get that little flow in your golf swing. Use the ground. Use the arc that you have. The way to create speed is not necessarily... Okay, so there's a little bit of a difference between speed and playing golf, but most of us could do with speed, more speed. So try and incorporate a little bit of that flow in your golf swing. Nice drill is to get that club starting here. Feel it in the feet, up, lean, clear. Give it a bash.